these teams, a new city, a new venue, new opponents and a new goal. The hurdle of the first round complete. Attention turns to sealing a place in the quarter-finals of the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Brazil get there with a win. Czech Republic most likely need to win to keep their chances alive. And they have the ball first. Looking for the first score of this first game here in the second round. Balvin with the long two.
Varejao helping out. That's the odds you take. You kind of have to live with something. He's been very good from the field, and that time they pay the penalty with trying to help down the low block.
There goes Hafaluz looking to slice past Balvin, who's doing it at both ends of the floor already.
How's the start? You're right, the rim protection. On-ball pick and roll defense is so vital in the modern game, and how you're dealing with that, the decisions you've got to make, the strategy you imply.
Hafaluz looking to work with Varejao, goes alone and gets the floater to fall.
And there you see the other example of the on-ball defense, when the penetration can get that deep and you're just relying on the bigs to protect the rim. When you're crafty, it doesn't always work out.
Sadaransky back out, Balvin across. Here is Sadaransky on the outside, and he got hit on his route to the rim.
Although he's shooting from the field, it's not where he'd like, but he's a quality perimeter shooter. He's averaged 40% from the three-point line throughout his NBA career, and that's a touch further than what the three-point line is here. So they're going to get respect despite only the 38% from the field so far in the tournament.
The voice of FIBA Hall of Famer Andrew Gaze alongside myself, Tim Long, here with you in Shenzhen for the second round. And Czech Republic back up by 2.
They've done this a bit throughout the tournament. A little token full court zone pressure just to try and be disruptive, take some time off the clock and get the opponents out of rhythm in the half court.
Hafaluz, good look for 3. Can't hit. Rebound and a chance to run for Czech Republic. Sadaransky, what a lovely bounce pass, and Gruben on the cut to the basket provides the finish.
That's what he does. He sees the floor. It's not just about himself. He gets others involved, and that's why he's gained the respect throughout this tournament as one of the marquee players.
Lose across to the far side towards the 39-year-old Alex. Ball out of bounds, still Brazil possession.
Have a look at the pass. The vision threads the needle. It's beautifully executed.
Loose. Caboclo looking to pirouette through the paint. Lovely move as he puts the defense in the spin cycle.
Very agile, the way he just used the drop step. The big fella creating off the bounce.
Had a breakout campaign in the NBA with the Grizzlies last season. Bruno Caboclo, 23 years of age. Here's Sadaransky. Hands it off far side. Long-range two-pointer will go for Jaromir Bohacic, who continues his fine shooting form.
Well, this is an absolutely perfect start for the Czech Republic. Perfect 3 of 3 from the field. They're on fire.
Bohacic 58% inside, 44% from downtown in the first round. En route to 16.7 points. Brazil trying to stay with Czech Republic here. That one off the mark from Benic. Sadaransky waiting for Balvin, who is slightly behind the play. Bounce pass through a gap and put in. They're scoring at will early on.
It really is a thing of beauty so far with the Czech Republic, and making the Brazilian defense almost looked inept.
Alex. On to Varejao. 36 years of age, the centre now looking to go to work on Balvin. Steps through the paint. Tough shot, wouldn't go. And Balvin releases Sadaransky. Sadaransky shooting over the top of the defense, missing. Varejao the rebound. Alex, very fast-paced start here. Opening 3.5 minutes. Around the screen of Varejao to the far side. Lose with a good look again, misses.
In contrast, Brazil had some good looks, just missed some shots you'd normally expect them to make. 2 of 7, so a slow start to them.
Bohacic was toying with Caboclo. They move it around the perimeter to the far side. 3-pointer for Gruben off the mark. Lose to Alex. Looking to go to work here on Bohacic. Through the paint, the 39-year-old still got some moves.
He has the little nugget down low post move. As you'd expect, no help coming, just playing it straight one-on-one and good enough to take advantage of it.
A 9-time Brazilian All-Star and former league MVP. 2-time MVP in the Americas League Grand Finals. There's Krish losing it, able to recover. Bohacic from deep at the buzzer. Rebound Caboclo. Brazil down by 4. Alex.
Why not?
Wants to go again up against Bohacic. Waits for the help defense. Back to lose, and then Varejao for 3. Wouldn't go.
I like the idea. Milk it. Found a formula down low with Alex. Might as well go back. That time they send a little bit of help.
Satoransky to Balvin. Lost it as he tried to spin towards the hoop. And an unsportsmanlike has been called.
No, I don't think it is.
Varejao hits the deck. No.
Just a regular.
But the coach is asking for one.
He absolutely would, but that's just an unfortunate clipping of the legs. And as this rule has evolved, when it was first introduced, that was likely going to end up 2-end possession. But I think that's the right decision because an inadvertent clipping, there was no intent to stop that transition.
Yeah, you're right. I looked across and saw Petrovic.
Yeah. He's trying to beg him for anything.
Wanted it. 3-point shot for Bernic. He's really struggled to shoot the ball so far. He was just 4 of 19 in the first round. Balvin onto Bohacic. Running interference, the big man on the outside. Bohacic trying to work with it. Balvin gets up against Alex on the inside. The ball doesn't come his way, though. Open look from the far side. Doesn't go down for Krish. Going all the way through, coast to coast on the dribble, was half a lose, but couldn't provide the finish.
He's not shy, is he? For a guy who's not shooting the ball, still out there trying to create for himself. That time a good penetration, just couldn't finish it around the basket.
Truban, Satoransky. Balvin on the outside again, looking to move into the paint. Satoransky, another lovely bounce pass, and on the baseline cut, it's flicked up and in by Krish.
Fun to play with, wouldn't he? The way in which if you get open and he's got the ball, he will find you. And you can't say about that about some of the better players in the world, but it's a great delight to have someone who can distribute the ball like that on your team.
Satoransky averaged 5 assists per game in the NBA with the Wizards last season. Brazil needed that one to half the deficit, having gone behind by 6, and again it's Alex. First 3-pointer in this one on the 8th attempt. Satoransky, free passage through the paint, but he ran into Bruno Caboclo, putting up the Great Wall here in China.
And Satoransky, a little bit of payback, got his penetration thrown out, but does one better and picks up the 3-pointer.
Here's Alex. He's absolutely full of it early on. Czech Republic back up by 6. After that shot from Satoransky. But before that, how about the block from Caboclo?
It is. It's, you see the foul down the other end. And here it is. He says, don't bring that soft stuff in. He says, all right, I'll go out and I'll knock down the trifecta.
Garcia at the line. Here for Brazil, looking to add to his 5 points already.
Ooh. Gee. There's a little conniption halfway through the free throw shooting technique. Right here.
12.7 points, 3.7 assists, 1.3 steals per game in the first round for Alex.
Ooh. Not textbook, but effective.
7 points. Yet to miss a shot. 2 of 2 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line. Alder is in the game, wearing the number 1. Here's Bohacic to the far side. Alder passing to Balvin. Little hesitation, drew the contact with Varejao up in the air, and a chance at a 3-point play.
Just the ball movement is making Brazil reactive on every pass. They're playing catch-up because the speed in which the ball is moved around the perimeter and then the penetration with the pass as well as the dribble. They've got a nice little balance going on right now. between the inside, outside, and also the penetration with the pass and the dribble. This is really good execution by the Czech Republic.
Balvin's career really on an upward trajectory. All Euro Cup second team with Gran Canaria 2 years ago, and then an efficient 6.6 points, 5 rebounds in 18.5 minutes per game in the EuroLeague last season, shooting 64% from the field. He'll play with Spanish side Bilbao this season. Varejao floating over the top of Balvin.
They broke that three-quarter court 1-2-2 press with ease, and that'll get you thinking about trying that again when it's so easy.
Balvin just lost it that time as Satoransky fired it into him. Here comes Marcelino Huertas. And they're forced to slow it down slightly. Alex crowded out in the paint, and they come up with the steal. Satoransky on the burst. And a double dribble call.
Alex just flinging his arms around as he attempted that last field goal attempt, and he's cracked Balvin in the head. Let's see if we can have a look. Just a little elbow. There it is right there. Nothing too serious, you wouldn't think, but it certainly stung the big fella. You know what it's like when you get that on the nose, your eyes start watering. So I don't think he's too serious though, so good news.
Balvin will go to the bench. Martin Peterka comes in, 24-year-old centre, who played in the Basketball Champions League with Nymburk last season. Averaged 8.5 points, 4.5 rebounds. Varejao, Caboclo, Marcelino Huertas, Leandro Barbosa. Barbosa onto Varejao. Barbosa shooting in the corner. The two men who have NBA championship rings combining. Satoransky. Blake Schilb is a real threat from the outside. Looking to go to work here. Up against Caboclo. Passes off. The responsibility of the outside shot to Bohacic, who missed it. Huertas. Averaging 4.3 assists per game, only 0.7 turnovers. Alex running into Bohacic, forced back out, plenty of time to work with still. Varejao up and under, wouldn't go down. Look at the rebound from Marcelino Huertas. And it leads to the three-point shot for Leandro Barbosa. Balvin and Satoransky each with 5 to lead Czech Republic. 7 for Alex for Brazil to lead them. Final minute of the first quarter coming up here. There goes Satoransky again, floating one from in the middle. Got it to fall, he's now got 7.
That is great touch coming in. He made a little push shot look a whole lot easier than it actually was. That's not an easier shot to execute.
He's got 3 assists as well already here in the first quarter. Turnaround 3, Leandro Barbosa hit one before the timeout, but can't hit one afterwards. Satoransky, everything going through him as he hands it off on the perimeter here to Bohacic. Blake Schilb, Patrick Huber, both involved. Balvin setting the screen on the perimeter. Balvin will take on another long 2. Misses that one. The tip from Satoransky and the rebound grabbed by Felicio.
You look at the way Brazil are playing Balvin, it's like they're willing to concede that mid-range jump shot. Just keep them away from the rim, concede the mid-ranger.
Oh, what about the pass from Huertas? But Felicio couldn't put the exclamation mark on it. And that will do it for the end of the first. It very nearly ended with a bang. Brazil leads, or Czech Republic lead rather, Brazil by 4 points, 20-16 at the end of one.
In all the games we played, and we had the Czech Republic. I like the way they mix it up. A little bit of full court press, a little bit of zone, keep the opposition guessing, and don't let them get comfortable.
Caboclo on to Felicio. The rebound, Bohacic. Balvin. Moved around the perimeter all the way to the far side to Schild. Back into Balvin up against Felicio. Far side of the paint, one-on-one, going to take him on. Steps into the paint. Lovely soft touch over the top of Felicio, the NBA.
They do, and that's just time, single coverage, down low. Keeps making moves like that, they're going to have to rethink their strategy.
Marcelino goes right through the paint. Back out to Marquinhos, who's in for the first time. Takes the contested three-pointer over the top of Schild. Well wide of the basket. Balvin is down on the deck again with Felicio this time.
Number 6.
The foul called on the Brazilian underneath. Felicio averaged 12.5 minutes per game in the NBA with the Bulls last season. Andre Balvin playing in the EuroLeague. Two very talented big men. Humprella. Chance to attack. Marcelino one-on-one on the far side. Back out to Schild, who's very good from the perimeter, but misses that one.
What's he been? He's been almost 69.2% from the three-point line. It's extraordinary. 9 of 13 before that one.
Marcelino Huertas. And Brazil are back within 4. He's looked very lively early on, his first score. Balvin will roll inside. It'll come back out to the perimeter. Alder on the turnaround, in and out. Marquinhos working with Felicio far side. Back again to Felicio. Up against Balvin. Against the double team. Passes back out. On the two-man basketball as Marquinhos puts it in.
Oh, it is good work by Marquinhos. He missed that last three and didn't shy away from it. Comes back and knocks down the mid-range up. That'll do his confidence the world of good as well.
Another veteran, 35 years of age. Eye off the window. Balvin not once but twice with the tip. Using every centimetre of his 2.17 m frame.
Yeah, he's been impressive to the point where had a great low post move 3 plays ago. I'm surprised they just haven't gone back to that and milked it.
And Huertas hitting 2 in quick succession.
That's what we're talking about with those on-ball screens. If you're going to sit back and just rim protect and you're trying to fight over the top of the screens, those shots are going to be on all night. Balvin needs to be a little higher.
Here he goes inside again, and he stuffs it down off the pass from Schild. A big Balvin battering ram of a blow.
That's what happens when you come too high and you don't have that third-man rotation. Good defense on the ball carrier. Hit the roll-up, no rotation, slam dunk.
And look at Leandro Barbosa go. He'll have to earn them both from the foul line. Still got that burst of pace at the age of 36.
Does he ever? And looks in spectacular condition as well. For a man who's seen the absolute very best in this sport, finding his way into the paint, draws the contact. There you see the other side of that third-man rotation coming very, very late. Big difference between the two, and we saw offense beating the defense on both occasions. The Czech Republic sitting off and just having the guy guarding the screen and guard that paint and make him shoot hopefully contested twos, and down the other end we saw Brazil trying a hard show on the on-ball and get beaten on the roll.
Balvin goes to the bench on 11 points in 12 minutes. 5 of 7 from the field, 4 rebounds as well. 2 of those on the offensive glass. Barbosa at the line, looking to close the gap to 2. No problem from the veteran. 5 players on this Brazil roster at 35 years or older. Shilbin to Satoransky. Across to the far side, high catch for Kruban. Ruban trying to shake off the attentions of Barbosa, and Alder cutting through the paint, scores off the window.
Great read by Alder. Unstructured play. The set broke down, and then it just relies on the passing and the cutting, and good off-the-ball movement creates an easy scoring opportunity.
Marcelino Huertas looking to orchestrate the offense, the third most assists in the World Cup since 1994. And what a pass to Barbosa. Only Prigioni and Ricky Rubio have more assists.
Huertas there and Barbosa looked like they were arguing about who was going to run the point, and then ends up with an easy two.
Satoransky looking to work on the outside with Alder, who gets a free look for three, chooses to go on the dribble drive instead, switches to the left hand and gets fouled midair by Caboclo.
Alder there, good drive. Saw the defense was there, perhaps a little deep, but still just attacks the rim and draws the foul. And that's pretty much the game these days. The mid-range is very uncommon. It's all about getting to the rim, shooting a three, because that's what the analytics say you should be doing. But now that time, Alder taking advantage of the work around the glass.
8.7 points, 5 rebounds on average in the first round. He had 16 points and 9 boards in the big win over Turkey when he was 7 of 11 from the field.
Yeah, well, that was by far the standout game. That was every one of those rebounds and points were vital. And
Alex, all the way across to Barbosa in the corner. Czech Republic did a good job of getting back. Barbosa goes behind the back, lost it on the dribble, and now a chance for Ruban. It's Brazil's turn to work back quickly. Satoransky, basket side, beautiful pass, simple finish for Krish.
I think you're underselling it with beautiful. That was a spectacular pass. Terry obviously cheering on his Brazilian team, who he did some spectacular work over many years.
6 points, the Czech lead. Ball in the hands of Barbosa for Brazil. Felicio off to Marcelino. Huertas just inside, back into Felicio. Felicio through a gap with his power, and he'll go to the line for two.
Easy. Anytime a big that's got the athleticism can get that close. Not bad outside the charge circle, but that one dribble and just powers up between two. And
Coach Alexander Petrovic's team, you talked about them not being bad on the offensive end. They haven't started well on the defensive end at any point in this World Cup. They've conceded 20 points or more in the first quarter of 3 of their 4 games now.
The thing that worried me about the long term of this game with the Czech Republic, from what we've seen, whenever Balvin has not been in the game, it is a different look to on the defensive end in particular for this Czech Republic. He is so vital at that end of the floor. I doubt we'll see him on the sidelines too long.
Blake Shelb looking to work with Alder on the perimeter. He moves inside. Satoransky receives it. He'll shoot the three over the top of the smaller Marcelino, halfway down and back out again. Barbosa, Garcia to the corner to Marcelino Huertas. Felicio looking to run interference, moves inside. Far side is Alex, and Felicio, the pass picked off by Shelb in front of him. Great read by the defense. Great pace by the offense as well, and Ruban nails it in transition. Czech Republic by 7 over Brazil. And their second three-pointer. Alder. Ruban. Turns it over. He's not happy with the call.
Clearly, I don't know what he's complaining about. He just lost, and there just lost the dribble. And sometimes you might just give that look because the coach is a long, long way away, just to maybe suggest, oh, hang on, that was a dud call. I didn't actually mess it up.
4th turnover of the half for Czech Republic, 1 more than Brazil. Look at the passing ability of Marcelino Huertas again to Alex, who drives inside, aggressive play. Misses the shot though, Marquinhos it was rather. Satoransky back out, wide open. Blake Shelb, the sharpshooter.
honestly, the performance he's had, as we said, coming in this game, 9 of 13, he's now 1 for 2 from the three-point line. That is off the charts, three-point shooting.
Here is Alex on the baby hook. Wouldn't go down. Czech Republic up by double figures and a chance to stretch this advantage. And with Balvin on the bench as well. Look at Satoransky, 7 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. A remarkable half from him. Just seems to get better and better. Looking for another assist here, high off the window. It was wild, but how about the putback from Patrick Helder? The ball magnetised to his hands off the window.
Yeah, they look energised, don't they? And it's time just coming in, clearly. No box out. Gets a clear path to the basket. The ball bounces his way. Another great pass. Satoransky. And when it's as easy as that. It's a skill you can't practice. It's an instinct for the game, and he's got it.
And we're selling him short with that stat line. There's 2 steals on there as well. Doing a bit of everything. Tomasz Satoransky. Varejão. Barbosa behind the back, behind Varejão as well. To the far side, Alex. Barbosa firing it in. Varejão almost looking like he had a push in the back, but the officials saying no.
Well, he tried to sell it, put way too much mayo on it, and threw himself out of the play. So, 4th turnover now for Brazil. And they just had some good looks, but the defensive effort. Coach Petrovic now changing things up. Has a look at a 2-3 zone, and he won't stay in it for very long. If they're the types of shots they're going to give up.
Easy for Helder, easy to get the ball into him, and the lead has stretched to 15.
I like the look because Czech Republic were having their way with him on the offensive end, so have a look at his zone.
Alex with the heaved 3 over the top of the defense. Brazil can't buy a bucket at the moment. Satoransky like a shark that smells blood here. Patrick Helder backing in, going to work on Barbosa, offensive foul.
Helder there throwing the right arm out, didn't try to disguise it at all, and rightfully gets pinned for the offensive foul.
Who will play in the French top flight with Boulazac this season, played in Italy last year.
Actually, on replay, Barbosa, certainly an offensive foul, but Barbosa did a good job of tangling his arms up. And that's there you saw that last play, the little slip on the 2-3 zone. Easy entry pass, easy layup. It's interesting to see if Brazil persist with it.
And Helder goes to the bench on 9 points in 12 minutes. And the other centre, Balvin, has 11 points. So it's the 2 bigs for Czech Republic dominating on the interior.
You see Krish, not a lot in that. He bumped the cutter, and I think it was the second whack that he had at him that caused him the foul. That is Krish.
Here's Hafaluz on the back cut behind the defence, got the floater to fall.
And that's what they needed. Only 10 of 28 before that. And you're struggling from the field. Those cheap baskets, little backdoor cuts, scores around the rim become all that much more vital. One, to keep the scoreboard ticking over, but just to generate some confidence. League starting to get to that really difficult territory. And there you see what happens, trying to fight over the top of the screen, and called for the defensive foul.
4 fouls for each team, a minute and a half to go in the first half. Czech Republic by 13. Satoransky to get the ball in, looking for Schill. Fires it back, what a pass that is. Doing a bit of Satoransky-esque passing to say, well, you have a score now.
They're just picking them off. Well structured, they understand their roles in the team, and unselfish. It's a real good combination.
Here they come again with Wojtek Kruban. The Czechs are running riot at the moment. Balvin underneath, can he grab it? No, big effort from Caboclo just to touch it to his teammate. Down by 15, in desperate need of something here. A big final 45 seconds to this first half. Varejao. Alex, far side, step to the side, way off on the window. Didn't get his geometry right. Satoransky. He'll take his time, an 11-second differential. Satoransky was looking for Balvin. Alex playing some suffocating one-on-one defense. Kruban, shot clock down to 3. Alex on Kruban as well, forces the steal. Another wonderful piece of defense in the open floor for Hafaluz.
I like it. It's what Brazil needed. Timeout called.
9 seconds to advance the ball for Czech Republic and trying to create a good shot. They'll hatch it.
Blocking foul.
Contact. Oh, the far side away from the ball. Alex and Balvin.
Balvin a little lucky. It looked like Alex was trying to get over and there was a moving screen. Can we see it here? Oh no, maybe not. Alex perhaps just grabbing Balvin. I think saw it and expressing his emotion at the call because he sends Balvin to the line to shoot a couple.
Alexander Petrovic, a two-time EuroLeague champion as a player back in the mid-80s, as well as winning bronze medals with Yugoslavia at the 82 and 86 World Cups, as well as at the 84 Olympics in Los Angeles.
Balvin is probably the biggest blemish on his tournament so far. Not great from the free throw line, only shooting it at 45%.
13 the lead, and it remains as such, but an offensive rebound, will it go? No, not quite for Kruban. Brazil not protecting their own backboard and almost paid the price at the buzzer, but at the end of the first half, they trailed by 13, Brazil 32, Czech Republic 45.
That's probably a big reason why they've had so much success.
Here's Satoransky, who plays in the NBA with the Wizards. Very much a part of this team, though, as he finds Krish, one of those 6 Nimbort players who had it knocked away, able to recover in the backcourt. Satoransky looking to work with Balvin on the perimeter, creating a bit of room for Satoransky, who gets it to fall up to 11.
Well, that's not the start they were looking for. Easy free throw for Satoransky. Came off a screen, and with the first half that he's had, to get that wide open is such an easy shot. Not a good sign for Brazil.
And the lead up to 15, which I believe ties the largest of the game. Brazil need to answer back. It's a one-on-one move from Alex, spinning down the baseline. Marquinhos will go for the deep, deep 3.
That's 1.5 meters behind the three-point line. And trailing it by 15. You need to get a better quality shot than that.
Satoransky around the frame of Balvin, trying to thread the eye of the needle. Caboclo was there. Able to read the passing lane and intercept. Caboclo. Marquinhos. Hafaluz. Varejao. Varejao backing in against Balvin. Little head fake. Marquinhos, they're struggling to create a good look. Caboclo on the fadeaway corner 3. It's not the ideal shot.
Varejao gets the lucky break, slapped the ball, and just coming off the leg of Balvin.
Marquinhos will take on the long 2, and Brazil finally get something.
Well, he's come out aggressively on the offensive end and clearly not going to die wondering.
A man who's been with Flamengo in Brazil since 2012, won 5 league titles in that time. Satoransky will take the 3, calm and composed on the perimeter.
The technique is beautiful as well.
14 altogether, 5 points in the opening 2 minutes of the second half for him. Afalou swings it on mid-air to Alex, who can't answer back. Balvin a rebound again. Bohacic cross-court pass to Satoransky. And a foul on Caboclo.
Just doesn't seem to be any of that real starch in the Brazilian offense. They're getting the ball through hands, they're swinging the ball. There's been a bit of ball and player movement, but not very effective. There was that very first shot that we spoke about, Satoransky, and then again, that time at least a contested three, but nothing but the bottom of the net.
He's 2 of 3 from the outside now. Satoransky en route to those 14 points. Bohacic going past Balvin, who was trying to grab the offensive rebound. And instead, it was Ruban who did, and the basket will count.
Just stayed with the play. Just got there. Too easy. Wanted it a little bit more. Need to see a lead here. Yeah, need to see a little bit more desperation going on here from the Brazilian team.
17.5 minutes to go, but it is getting desperate for Brazil. Another miss. And Satoransky looking to run the show here. Back out. Balvin across to Bohacic. Inside, flips it over. Varejao right off the window. Got it to fall. And Czech Republic stretched the lead to 20.
This is getting ugly. Very sloppy. Ball movement and the speed in which that ball was swung around doesn't stall in anyone's hands. It's either pass it, penetrate it, or shoot it. And everyone seems connected. Everyone knows where the next phase of the offense is supposed to be. Really good stuff by the Czech Republic.
There's Alex spinning into traffic and losing it. Brazil almost running out of ideas. Satoransky to the far side, three-point shot, Ruban. The lead remains at 20. Alex, determined to keep on going, looking to find the 20-year-old Yago, who's just come in. Satoransky very much the star of the show, but it's very much a team game that Czech Republic are playing. And they are blowing Brazil to bits at the moment. Varejao almost had it picked off. What's the call on the baseline?
I think it's out of bounds, and they're calling it on Ruban.
Yago will inbound to Caboclo. Varejao hands it off to Yago, just 20 years of age. Didn't play in the first half. He takes on the three-pointer here, another miss. It'll ricochet kindly for Brazil, though. Brazil only 2 of 14 from three-point range. Alex, Varejao just couldn't grab the low pass. And the quick pass down the floor, Bohacic back out. Satoransky will slow it down.
Right idea down the other end of the floor. They got the switch, but just a poor pass into Varejao.
Satoransky with Balvin rolling inside. Found by Satoransky, knocked away by Varejao, still Czech Republic ball.
Here we see the help coming off the on-ball screen. Varejao a little late. When that roll is coming, if there's not going to be a switch or a hard show or any of those circumstances where you require some sort of help, you need the third man coming in a lot earlier than that.
Deep inbound Satoransky to Wojtek Ruban. Shakes off the defense. Wouldn't roll for him, though. Yago so quick, going coast to coast, down the floor, got contact, and he'll go to the line, putting his body on the line.
Here's the early transition, maybe something they need to try and push, because they've been blanketed in the half court, and the little fella.
Without trying to be disrespectful, the first half performance from Brazil looked like a performance of 35, 36-year-olds. And Yago, the 20-year-old, just injecting a spark for Brazil.
No, you're spot on. They do look slow. They don't look as passionate. The offense is just being moved. They're getting some good ball movement, but it's ineffective movement. And very few threats on the basket. And Balvin does a good job of working those on balls and protecting the rim. Haven't been too many easy looks, and that's where transition basketball can help you. Just throw caution to the wind. Try and make it an up-tempo game.
18 the difference. Satoransky. Bohacic pulls up for the outside shot. Rebound Caboclo. Brazil maybe a chance to build momentum here. Barbosa with the ball, looking to find Varejao, turns it over into the hands of Satoransky. The last man you want it to be with, out of bounds, off a Brazil body.
And that is more like this type of defense you want to have on the pick and roll. That time Satoransky knew it was coming. He was guarding the weak side guy, dropped off, played in the middle, and then just picked off that pass.
Bohacic. Satoransky looking to take on Barbosa and got the reach in. His first, and the first on Brazil at the midway point of the third quarter. Ginsburg's Czech Republic do have 3 fouls to their name. Schill. Bohacic runs interference on the perimeter, receives the ball, looks to put it on the floor, stops and pops at the foul line, can't get the drop. Caboclo a towering rebound. Barbosa.
Everything breaking down, slowing down into a half-court game.
Barbosa looking to bundle his way to the basket, but nowhere near in the end. Crease onto the corner, Bohacic for 3. Varejao a rebound. Brazil are playing with fire at the moment. Barbosa, can he get this one to drop? Yes, he can. Leandro Barbosa, the veteran, stepping up to try and pull Brazil out of a big hole.
Come on, let's make some noise for our mascot and FIBA Basketball World Cup in China.
Brazil have scored the last 4 points to close the gap down to 16. Satoransky. Calvin handing off to Schill. Howder had it knocked away, able to gather. Bohacic to Satoransky, 10 to work with. Satoransky had it poked from behind, pocket picked, and here goes Yago down the floor behind the back. Barbosa, get out of here, says Bohacic. 3-point shot, Brazil will go. They'll upgrade to a 3. Vitor Benic, who struggled from the field in the tournament, hitting a big one when it matters.
That's the sort of spark they need. Gain some momentum, start to play with that flair and emotion that we come to expect from the Brazilian players and teams.
Schill looking to ride contact to the rim. Still going to be Czech Republic ball. The deficit down to 13 as it was at the half.
It's amazing when you see the ball go in the hole, you start to create some momentum on the offensive end. All of a sudden, the defense starts to pick up a little bit more defensive pressure. Tougher shot that time for the Czech Republic. Some good signs here for Brazil.
Satoransky. He's going to take the 3 himself. Nothing but net for Satoransky.
The momentum snapper right there. Satoransky, timely by their superstar.
Barbosa bundling to the baseline this time. Got it back off Varejao. Caboclo to the far side. Deep 3-point attempt. Hits 2 in a row. Vitor Benic getting Brazil back in business. He cancels out the 3 from Satoransky. 13 the differential again, and a foul on Barbosa. Vitor Benic only 4 of 19 from the field in the first round. He did average 12.3 points per game in qualifying. He's finally finding his form.
We didn't see it on camera there, but let's talk about the stats of Satoransky. That time just huddling the guys together and getting him back on page. Great leadership.
Bohacic will get it to go with the contact. He took on Caboclo and won.
The whole body language you see from the Czech Republic as well. Bohacic just putting his head down, goes with his preferred left. Not a lot of contact on that one, but gets the and one. In contrast, even that last possession, you see Benic make those 3-pointers. It's still, bench is not up into the game, waving towels and getting into it.
He can't hit the and one. He was only 2 of 12 from the field, Bohacic, before that driving layup, but still full of confidence. Iago, the 20-year-old, has some confidence as well. He can't hit the 3. There's another rebound for Satoransky. Shield moving it swiftly into Alder. And a foul on the floor.
Number 50.
Caboclo just reaching in on that one. It's called for the reaching foul. Satoransky, this is a pivotal moment. They take him out of the game to give him a spell, log some significant minutes. Satoransky already played the 25 minutes. Give him a quick blow. Try and keep him out of this until quarter time. Get another couple of minutes at 3/4 time.
Balvin handing off to Bohacic. High and in from Balvin. What a lovely swift pass. The lead is back to 17 for Czech Republic. Barbosa gets it back from Iago. Barbosa away from Balvin. Left hand layup, lovely underarm.
Showing his class there. Speed, reads the defense, puts it to the deck. And a very nice finish with the left.
Barbosa, the first Brazilian up to double figures, now has 11. Schilb spins away and almost got it to go off the window himself, but he'll go to the line to earn them from the strike.
Had a good size advantage on Benic. They take advantage of it. I like the recognition. Come down there. All the misdirection, passing, ball movement, that's great. But there are times you see a mismatch that you like, put him on the box, throw it in there, and let him go to work and take advantage of it.
Felicio is in for Varejão for Brazil. Schilb is at the line. This is the first. Blake Schilber, Euro Cup champion with Galatasaray back in 2016. He's in France now with Chalon Rams. .16 the gap. A minute and a half to go in the third. Barbosa really starting to heat up here. Barbosa somehow found a way through a gap that didn't appear to be there.
Well, it wasn't according to the officials. They've called an offensive foul, a charging foul on Barbosa. Let's have a look. He does split the gap. Ooh. Alder just shuffling to the left. For mine, that's a block. Always tough, a bang-bang play like that. Very, very tough on the officials. In fact, the hardest call in the game.
Third foul on Barbosa.
Go to it again.
Schilb up against Barbosa, shoots over the top of him and got the contact. A chance at a three-point play, but he's down her.
Landed on Barbosa's foot and he's rolled his ankle. So this would be a huge blow. Have a look at, oh yes, the left foot. The ankle rolls over. It's not a person that's played any sort of length of time on a basketball floor that hasn't experienced that. And hopefully it's not too bad. Teammates just trying to encourage him because they know how important he is. He really does spread the floor, shooting over 69% from the three-point line. Can't give him daylight. And how's the work the last two possessions down low? On the box, just throw it into him. And he's going to have to leave the floor by the look of it. So whoever subbed in is going to be the one taking the free throw.
Blake Schilb bearing the appreciation of the fans here in Shenzhen. And that is a big blow for Czech Republic. One of their hottest shooters.
Not just for this game either. When you think of the schedule ahead, hopefully it's just one of those stingers that Might be a little swelling, get a day off tomorrow, get some treatment, and you'll still be in discomfort whenever you do something like that, but hopefully it's nothing too serious. Sure, the officials have gone to the bench.
It gets into the cylinder, but it doesn't extend too much the leg. It's a normal foul. Normal foul. But one shot we got, huh? Confirmed, no. Yes, normal foul.
Yeah, there was nothing intentional about that. That's great insight that we're able to provide. Get first-hand look at what's going on, the decision-making process that the officials go through.
FIBA giving you a front row seat for the World Cup here in 2019. Wojtek Hruban will take the foul shot, completes the three-point play. That was Barbosa's fourth foul, so he's dangling by a disciplinary thread now, Leandro Barbosa. 19 is the lead with 11 minutes to play. Benic lost it. Balvin came up with it.
Balvin does a good job. That time the hard show on the on-ball, a little trap, and forces the turnover.
Bohatchik combining with Balvin. Hruban. Auda looking to go to work on Alex near side of the paint. Auda looking up to the rim, looking back out to the perimeter, maybe to Balvin. Couldn't find anybody. And a foul on Bohatchik as Yago moved away from him.
Just a hint there of perhaps an unsportsmanlike. One of the great things that FIBA have done over the last couple of years is try to eliminate those, well, really intentional fouls just to stop the transition. And that time there, we're not sure if you went through all the points. There's 5 major points you've got to go through, whether that one might have had a hint of unsportsmanlike about it.
Czech Republic did have that foul to give, 4 for them in the quarter now. There's a 5-second differential between shot and game clock at the end of the third. Brazil holding it for as long as they possibly can. Yago finding Felicio. And the ball out of bounds in Brazil's favour with 2.6 left on the shot clock.
Felicio not happy. See how deep Balvin is, right in that paint, and good positioning. Nothing wrong with that. It's just good defense.
So Yago Matius to inbound the ball. We're going to have a change here for Czech Republic. Martin Krish comes in. Patrick Auda to the bench. Brazil have to be quick. Felicio hands it off. It's put up at the buzzer by Alex. A chance still for Czech Republic. A couple of seconds remaining. It's going to be Hruban for the 3. Wouldn't go down, but Czech Republic still with a very healthy lead. They have stretched a 13-point halftime advantage by a further 6, up 65-46 at the end of 3.
FIBA Basketball World Cup.
Yago will take the 3. Brazil may have to light it up from long range if they're to get back into this one.
Well, that's right. They need someone needs to catch fire from the 3-point line. They haven't been they're only 4 of 19.
Bohatchik with the open 3. He shows them how it's done.
And down the other end of the floor, it's a double whammy. That stings.
Alex into the lane. Passing lanes blocked off again. Another turnover, Brazil. It's going from bad to worse for them.
Tremendous effort by Alex, but just no plan. Just driving into the traffic and throwing it up.
And they turn it right back over to Brazil. It's Alex across to the far side to Yago. Cross-court pass, high catch, Benic. He's hit a couple from the outside already, and he hits another. He's the one who looks the most likely.
And that's the thing, and that's where you're most vulnerable in the defensive transition. You're prepared to take that three ball, and they really got to throw caution to the wind.
Brazil 5 of 20 from long range. He's 3 of 4 though. Caboclo stepped on the baseline. It's 19 points the deficit with 8 minutes and 43 seconds to play. Garcia goes to the bench.
Gigi Lozada comes in. Another youngster, only 20 years of age.
The problem throughout for Brazil has been defense. They conceded at least 20 points in each of the first 3 quarters.
How easy was that for Alda?
On the turnaround, a foul on the three-point shot. So Benic, Czech Republic, very concerned about his form on the perimeter. They foul him and he'll go to the line for 3.
He's 3 or 4 from the three-point line. He's looked very smooth. And you said he'll have 3 attempts at it.
He's 3 of 4. The rest of the team are 2 of 16.
Brazil, number 8, Benedict, shoot 2.
They need each and every point they can get right now, Alexander Petrovic's team, as Benic misses the first foul shot.
And, you know, right now, it's not just about trying to salvage this and get the win for Brazil, but they also need to start to think of ways in which you can just reduce the margin. If there's a three-way tie and the margin between those teams becomes vital, a blowout does you no good.
Bohacic to the far side. Pomfrela from deep. Czech Republic just keep on coming. Yago back out to Marquinhos. 23 the advantage now. Yago finding Felicio on the reverse, got it to go. Felicio's second score of the game.
In contrast, this margin for Czech Republic is crucial. They got to keep just trying to crush it and get as big a win as they possibly can.
Pomfrela has 5 quick-fire points. Gigi looking to meander through the paint. Balvin the rebound. Here comes Satoransky. Across to the far side. Bohacic threatened the 3, clings onto it. To the baseline. Bounce pass inside and Alda puts it in. Look at the ball movement, the confidence, the spring and the belief in the Czech Republic side.
Right now, if you're Greece, you're probably barracking for Brazil to try and shorten this margin, because if the USA beat Greece, then on Monday Greece will need to beat the Czech Republic by more than the Czech beat Brazil. So there's some interesting onlookers with the teams on the sideline as well.
26 is that margin now. Gigi into Yago, the 2 20-year-olds on court for Brazil. The veterans haven't been able to get it done. The coach turning to the youth.
Nothing going right. That time Satoransky just did it and just came off Yago. Everything going the way of the Czech Republic.
It's coming off the rails for Brazil, who only scored 14 points in the 3rd quarter, their lowest scoring quarter at the World Cup. 6 so far here in the 4th. Bodies down on the deck, wrestling for it, just for 1 possession. They need to show they're up for the fight here, Brazil. Otherwise it could end up being the end of the line for them. They came here winning each of their first 3 games, knowing a win would take them into the quarterfinals. The Czech Republic knew they had to win. And boy, have they responded.
It's not just the fact that they've won, it's the way they've won that would give the Czech Republic fans a whole bunch of hope about not just making it to the elimination round, but causing some problems from then on for whoever they may face.
Benic, Felicio, Gigi Lusada. Gigi into the lane, trying to squeeze a pass in a passing lane that wasn't there. Felicio playing hot cake and putting it in. 24 the difference. Satoransky, 17 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, 9 points and a chance, 19 points and a chance to hit 20.
And as a coach, that would disappoint you when you start. Look, he starts beyond the three-point line from the wing, and he's able to get right into the charge circle. Now, Fuertes has got to do a better job of guarding the ball, but someone's got to be on that weak side underneath the basket on the split line to help, to provide that help defense. They're just not connected right now, Brazil, on the defensive end, or for that matter, on the offensive end.
This has been some performance from Tomasz Satoransky, up to 20 points. Here's Benic. Back out, Huertas across to the far side. Gigi stepping inside, looking to attack. Forced away by the defense and nothing falling for Brazil. Pumprilla. Balvin hands it off to the star of the show, Satoransky. Balvin coming out to set the screen. Satoransky trying to weave it inside. Deflects away off the body of Marquinhos and a whistle.
He's not happy. It looked like it come off his hip. Well, that's what at least they're complaining about, saying it wasn't a kick. But the referees deem it was, and shot clock resets to 14. Wow.
Satoransky floating one high. Brazil hit with a heat check at the World Cup.
That is just fantastic offense, but gee whiz, that defense, very porous.
Assist number 9 for Satoransky. Huertas for 3, got it. 1 back for Brazil. Those points very much at a premium for them, though. It's a double-double for Balvin at 15 points, 10 rebounds now. Pumprilla lost it, but it's still Czech Republic ball, and all eyes for these final 4.5 minutes will be on Tomasz Satoransky, who's got 20 points, 9 assists and 7 rebounds. There has never before been a triple-double in the history of the FIBA World Cup.
And that surprises me when you think of some of the great players that have come through over the years.
Bo Hatchet from the outside beats the buzzer.
Everything falling for the Czech Republic. Except
Huertas getting away.
Except that, a nice little inside-out move by on that time there. But see, every time now, the Czech Republic, they're just milking the clock. They're going to be in no hurry.
Oh, it just got past Balvin after the nice idea from Alder. Talk about that triple-double. Joe Ingles had 17 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, didn't he, earlier in the tournament, back in the first round. Satoransky only the second player for more than 15 points, 7 rebounds and 7 assists in this tournament. 3-point shot Brazil falls short. Balvin going down to get it. It's a long way down for him. Bo Hatchet to the far side. Pumprilla. Alder. And Truban.
Gigi not giving up on the play, fighting over the top of the screen. That time just a little too aggressive. Gigi will be taking his talents to the Sydney Kings next season. Early second-round draft pick in this year's draft.
Huertas, he's been scoring a few points recently. Stopped that time on his route to the rim.
They're not giving up, are they? They haven't taken the foot off the pedal at any stage of the Czech Republic, and that's absolutely required when you think of what may lie ahead.
Marquinhos for the three. We are going to have a timeout with 3 minutes and 14 seconds remaining. Brazil about to fall to 3-1. Czech Republic about to rise to 3-1. One more game to play for these two in the second round. And the margin crucial. Satoransky looks to continue doing what he's been doing all game long. Balvin on the inside. Satoransky looking towards the basket. Back out to Bohacic. Into the lane, he hangs but can't hit, but he'll go to the line for two.
Of all the players in the competition that we've seen some beauties that the French team just stacked from 1 to 10. Of all the players in the team that I would love to play with, Satoransky is that player. Because when called upon in a crisis, he knows it's his time and he can step up individually. But the way in which he creates for others and makes those around him better is an absolute delight to watch. Incredibly unselfish and plays with a very high basketball IQ.
Bohacic from the line, buries it. Satoransky needs just one more assist to become just the second player in the World Cup since 1994 to combine 20+ points and 10+ assists. He's been that good here this evening. Huertas. Cross to the far side to Gigi. Shot clock to 5 here. Step to the side, three-pointer for Marquinhos. And Kruban the rebound.
There you see the difference. Brazil go through their system. Some good movement. Swung it from side to side. Nice little shuffle cut, but got very little out of their offense.
Paterka underneath, picking up the pieces. Brazil have conceded at least 20 points in every quarter.
Needless to say, that's way too many. And it's not just the fact that the number of points, it's the percentages as well. 57% from the field.
Marcelino Huertas has been stepping up with a few points here down the stretch. He's got 11 now. Joint highest for Brazil with Leandro Barbosa. But 24 the deficit.
I thought Satoransky was the one that was coming out, and I thought, come on, coach, someone needs to get a message to him. We need one more assist to get that 20 and 10.
Doesn't look like he'll get the triple-double now, though. 3 rebounds and an assist short with time running out. Goes away from the screen set by Krish. They move it around the perimeter. So smooth and well-oiled, but it falls short for Paterka. And then a whistle because Brazil have a player down.
He looks in considerable pain too. Holding his knee. Marquinhos with a knee. Let's hope that's not too serious. Let's have a look. Ooh. Always worry about those ones when players go down. It didn't look like there was any contact. May have been a hint of a knee on knee, but if that's the case, that's what you'd be hoping for. A little sting up, little corky, whatever it may be. And unfortunately, the coach has no flair for the theatrics, and he takes Satoransky out of the game.
A huge smile on his face as he gets the high fives and the pats on the back all round. Tomasz Satoransky, 20 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 steals and 2 blocks.
Yeah, that is some sort of game. Unlike some leagues around the world, some of those statistics are a lot more closely monitored in FIBA basketball. You see the assists in some leagues and you go, oh my goodness, there's pass, 2 dribbles, a shot fake. Knocks down a shot and they still get an assist for it. Here, not so much.
Final minute and a half. Brazil down by 24. These two about to level up their win-loss records. Cross court to Caboclo from the outside, buries it. Brazil still aware that each and every point could make the difference in a tie. If it's a 3-way tie, of course. If these two are tied, then Czech Republic would win it on the head-to-head after winning this game.
My word, and it's a big occasion for Greece coming up. Puts a little bit more pressure on them to get the win.
Final minute of this one, Marcelino Huertas. Gigi Lusada, and there's a whistle underneath. Brazil set to lose by more than 20 points for just the 3rd time at the World Cup this century.
Well, you've gone a little early, so because there is still a bit of time, but it's fair to say that it doesn't really happen all that often.
Try and get it below 20 here. Benic floats one off the window and does reduce the arrears to 19. Jakub Shishina in the game. Wearing the number 13, handling the ball here. Hasn't played much of the tournament. He finds an open shooter and the 3-pointer for Peterka. And they force one more turnover as well. Still battling for each and every ball and each and every point. A 22-point advantage. Nominal differential between shot and game clock at the end. What a performance from the Czech Republic.
I can't speak more highly of it. And they've made Brazil look second rate. They've picked them off at the offensive end, and down on defense made life really, really miserable for them. They're only shot it at 40% from the field. That's below their average. And a lot of credit goes to the Czech Republic and the defense that they've put in place. This is not just about a team having an off night shooting-wise. This is a team that's run into a wall.
And the play stopped with 10.2 to play, a 24-point Czech Republic lead. Led by the 20 of Satoransky, 15 for Balvin, who's got a double-double, 12 for Bohacic, but so many others have stepped up beneath those 3 as well, 14 for Alda. Final seconds, Benic, contested 3, doesn't go, the tip for Felicio will. And still try and get a few more. Brazil battered, bruised and embarrassed by red-hot Czech Republic. Brazil suffer their first win, and Czech Republic level up the records at 3-1 each as they beat Brazil by 22, 93 to 71.